Hey everyone, today we're diving into a topic that's pretty deep and might even challenge your traditional views on hard work and success. That is, the difference between the poor and the rich isn't about how hard you work, it's about a mindset. At first, that might sound confusing, or even make you question, isn't hard work the surest path to success? Doesn't effort matter? The truth, and what we're going to explore today, is that while effort is important, what truly determines whether someone becomes wealthy and successful is their mindset, not just the hours they put in. Think about it. How often do you see people who work tirelessly, waking up early, staying late, pouring almost every hour into work or learning, yet the results they achieve are worlds apart? Some, despite giving equal or even more effort, struggle just to get by, while others who seem average manage to build wealth quickly and achieve life freedom. Why is that? The difference usually isn't effort itself. It's the mindset behind it, how they view money, opportunities, risk, and life itself. Today, we're going to break down every key word in that title and analyze why hard work alone isn't enough, and what kind of mindset actually is enough, and what kind of mindset actually love. What kind of mindset actually alone is it? And what kind of mindset actually yours instead of cultivating was violence. The what kind of mindset actually life shall they get me? First, let's unpack the two main ideas in the title. The difference between the poor and the rich. And it's not effort that matters. It's a mindset. When we talk about poor and rich, we're not just talking about bank accounts, but more importantly, about patterns of thinking and behavior. The difference isn't about where you start or the opportunities you have. It's about how you approach every choice, every chance, every dollar, and Eve. Approach every choice, every dollar, and Eve. People with a poor mindset are often driven by short-term satisfaction and immediate gain. Their thinking is shaped by circumstance. For example, when they see money, their first reaction is to spend it, not to make it work for them. They fear risk, settle for comfort, and tend to complain or retreat when faced with challenges. Their vision rarely goes beyond the present, and long-term planning is often missing. Rich people think completely different. Rich people think completely different. Rich people think completely different. Serge and Flores. Different prices terms. Rich people think completely different. They see money as a tool, not an end in itself. When they evaluate opportunities, they focus on long-term value and potential returns, not just immediate gain. They invest in themselves, their time, and their network, knowing that any investment has the potential for exponential returns. When challenges arise, they don't complain. They actively look for solutions and even turn crises into opportunities. Some might argue, but doesn't effort too? But doesn't effort veins, opportunities. Some might argue, but doesn't effort isn't evidence themselves, conferences and to argue. But doesn't effort is this industries and it was the thing. But later, I work hard every day. Shouldn't I be more successful? Here's the thing. Effort itself is never the problem. The problem is whether your effort is directed correctly, executed strategically, and supported by the right mindset. Effort is like a hammer. It can build a lot, but if you swing it in the wrong direction or use it incorrectly, all that effort may accomplish nothing. People with a poor mindset focus on working more, longer, harder, without ever asking, what exactly am I trying to achieve? Is my approach effective? Rich people, on the other hand, pair their effort with clear thinking. They first define the value they want their effort to create, then execute in the most effective way. In other words, effort is a tool, but mindset sets the direction. Wrong effort drains your time and energy. The right mindset lets you avoid detours and maximize the impact of every action. When the title says it's not effort that matters, it's a mindset, The key is this: wealth and success are ultimately reflections of how you think. Mindset isn't just a thought, it's a way of seeing the world, yourself, and opportunities. It determines how you use your time, how you handle money, how you manage relationship time, how you handle money, how you manage relationship, how you manage relationship mindset, how you manage relationship with our set is relationship with if relationship opportunity, how you teach relationship. For example, when a person gets income, someone with a poor mindset might think, I'll just spend this and enjoy it now. While someone with a rich mindset asks, how can this money generate more income for me? Can I invest it and let it compound? When considering a job, a poor mindset says stability is most important, while a rich mindset asks, will this job teach me core skills and open doors for future opportunity, stability is most important, while a rich mindset asks, will this job teach me core skills and open doors for future opportunity? These differences may not be obvious in the short term, but over time, they create massive divergence, shaping your life trajectory. We often see people working extremely hard, yet struggling financially or remaining stuck in average careers. Why? Because they lack the right mindset. Effort is an action, but mindset is a strategy. Without a strategy, effort is like driving blind. You don't know where the road leads. With a strategy, effort becomes a guided journey, even through twists and turns. The mindset determines the direction and efficiency of your effort, while effort turns mindset into reality. The good news is, mindset isn't fixed. It can be learned, modeled, and trained. The rich didn't start with perfect thinking. They built it over time through practice and self-discipline. If you're willing to shift how you view problems, money, opportunities, risk, and growth, you can achieve breakthroughs without working harder or longer. So, today's discussion about the difference between the poor and the rich isn't to say that effort is useless. It's to show that effort alone is just the foundation. What truly sets you apart, what draws wealth and opportunity to you, is a new way of thinking. A mindset that allows you to turn your limited efforts. Blastem of this discussion of this medias. A mindset that allows you to turn your limited is useless. It's unsafe to say that effort is useless. It's a new way of thinking, a mindset that allows you to turn your limited efforts. But that's what this just of it is. In the next part of this video, we'll break down 5 key areas: money mindset, risk and opportunity awareness, learning and personal growth, long-term vision, and responsibility and proactivity. Through these, you'll see that the gap between the poor and the rich isn't just about lifestyle, it's about how they think. Understanding these differences is your first step toward personal breakthroughs and financial freedom. If you're ready to break out of the ordinary, go ahead and subscribe to the channel now. And join us in learning the rich mindset to transform your future. Many people, when they think about making money, immediately imagine spending it, buying the things they want, and enjoying short-term satisfaction. This is the mindset of the poor. Money is a tool for instant gratification. They feel that once they earn money, it should be spent right away, or saved merely for security rather than growth. They see money's value as buying things and meeting immediate needs, overlooking the potential for money to generate needs, overlooking the potential for money to generate needs, overlooking the potential for money to generate media needs, overseeing little bases generated monies and potential for money to generate vacation. They see money's value as they sell. This mindset has a clear consequence. Even if their income increases, their wealth grows slowly. For example, someone might get a $2,000 raise each month, but that increase is quickly consumed by high spending, credit card debt, or short-term desires, leaving them still financially tight, with little to no growth in savings and stagnant wealth accumulation. This is a direct reflection of the poor mindset in reality. The mindset of the rich, however, is entirely different. To the wealthy, money is a tool for achieving freedom and creating more value. They don't view money merely as something to spend. They see it as a resource to generate more opportunities. Rich people invest in stocks, real estate, entrepreneurial ventures, or themselves through skill building and networking, understanding the power of compounding. An investment today can generate returns far exceeding the original income in a few years, or even decades. More importantly, they distinguish between consumption spending and investment spending. A poor person might spend a lot on a luxury car just for status or short-term enjoyment, while a wealthy person may buy a car to meet business needs, generate rental income, or improve investment efficiency. On the surface, this looks like different spending habits, but fundamentally, it reflects a completely different approach to wealth management. The rich also understand cash flow. They create passive income so money works for them, rather than exchanging time and labor directly for money. For instance, someone with multiple rental properties can earn steady income without working, while a high-salaried poor person still cannot escape the time equals money trap. In short, the difference in money mindset isn't just about how money is used. It's about how one thinks about money. The poor let money consume their freedom and time, while the rich use money to create more freedom and time. This mindset directly affects the speed of wealth accumulation and determines one's life freedom. Truly understanding money means not just trying to earn more, but figuring out how to make money work for you and letting wealth grow like a snowball. Many people are taught from a young age that risk is bad. They fear failure and uncertainty, choosing stability over new opportunities, which is classic poor thinking. They equate risk with danger and retreat from the unknown, missing countless potential opportunities. The rich think differently. They know risk itself isn't frightening. Missing an opportunity is. Every opportunity carries uncertainty, but the wealthy analyze it and turn uncertainty into potential advantage, asking themselves, what are the chances this succeeds? Can I handle the loss if it fails? Even if it fails, what can I learn? This mindset allows them to act while others hesitate, seizing first-mover advantage. For example, many entrepreneurs start businesses without stable funding or with uncertain markets, yet they take the risk and ultimately create industry-changing companies, while those who fear risk may spend their lives in comfort zones, watching opportunities slip away. The rich understand that risk isn't recklessness, it's calculated strategy. Risk plus the right mindset can turn into tremendous opportunity. They also build risk buffers, using diversified investments, emergency funds, and planning to reduce potential losses, something the poor often overlook. The difference in risk awareness and opportunity mindset is a key reason why the rich pull ahead. The poor avoid trying and miss chances, while the wealthy evaluate, act boldly, and constantly create new wealth. Over time, this gap grows exponentially, not linearly. Learning is another office. Learning is another overding. There's another willahul. Learning is another disletten with linearly. Learning is another overchabler. Richie well learned. Learning is another entities, measures as other lose. Poor people often learn passively, only acquiring knowledge to meet immediate work, school, or life demands. They're satisfied with the status quo and feel their existing skills are enough, limiting long-term growth. The rich, however, embrace lifelong learning, constantly improving their professional skills, financial knowledge, investment insight, and networking abilities. They understand that accumulating knowledge and skills is a compounding effect. A skill learned today can yield exponential returns years or even decades later. More importantly, They don't learn to pass tests or handle short-term tasks. They learn to upgrade their mindset and decision-making ability, spotting trends, seizing opportunities, and avoiding risks so that every effort is more precise and effective. For example, relying solely on intuition in the stock market can lead to losses, but those who continually study finance can make data-driven decisions and maximize returns. The rich know that upgrading your thinking is more important than effort. Effort may produce short-term results, but an upgraded mindset compounds and multiplies outcomes. Learning cultivates strategic vision, turning every effort into long-term value, a level of thinking the poor rarely reach. Poor people are often driven by short-term gratification, always seeking instant enjoyment. They may spend impulsively, waste time, or miss investment opportunities, limiting long-term wealth accumulation and personal development, leaving them trapped in a cycle of temporary satisfaction without true freedom. The wealthy, in contrast, focus on long-term value. In investments, business, or relationships, they plan for the future, understanding that each long-term effort, every skill learned, and every relationship cultivated will yield exponential returns. Studying financial literacy or improving skills today can bring far more income years later than work alone. Building relationships now can yield priceless opportunities later. Long-term vision relies on delayed gratification. Short-term pleasure is just seasoning, while long-term accumulation is the core goal. The wealthy are willing to endure temporary discomfort for 5, 10, or 20-year gains, leveraging the compounding effect of time to grow life and business exponentially, while the poor remain trapped in the present, missing vast potential value. Long-term thinking also shows in money management and daily habits. The wealthy allocate income for living expenses, investment, and personal growth, whereas the poor often spend for instant gratification, preventing sustainable wealth growth. Lastly, the poor often fall into a victim mentality, blaming circumstances or others for problems rather than actively seeking solutions, feeling that external factors control their fate. This passivity hinders breakthroughs. The rich, however, emphasize responsibility and proactivity, believing they control their destiny, seeking opportunities, and solving problems. When challenges arise, they don't retreat. They transform obstacles into opportunities, maximizing the impact of every action. For example, when a company faces market decline, the poor may complain about policies or competitors, while the rich seek new clients, expand markets, and improve products. Complaining wastes time. Action creates results. Though subtle, these differences accumulate over time and ultimately determine wealth and success. Responsibility and proactivity extend beyond business. They touch every area of life. The rich take responsibility, push past limits, and develop problem-solving skills whose compounding effects over time become true sources of wealth and freedom. To sum up everything we discussed today, the real difference between the rich and the poor isn't about how hard you work, but how you think. Effort is important, yes, but without the right mindset, effort is like building a house on sand. No matter how much you work, it won't stand tall. The mindset of the rich allows them to channel their time, money, and energy efficiently in the right direction, turning limited resources into exponential value and and the files the step wordt in de exide. Recordist het heen zich gezet, en toen is het taferdet het zo, geschield bitjes heen vivitas. The mindset of the resources into exponential value at Tavis, turning limited resources into The mindset of the poor, on the other hand, traps them in endless cycles of repetitive labor, short-term consumption, and missed opportunities. The 5 areas we talked about today, financial thinking, risk and opportunity awareness, learning and self-growth, long-term vision, and responsibility with initiative, aren't separate ideas. They connect and reinforce each other to form a complete wealth mindset system. Financial thinking teaches you how to make money work for you instead of working endlessly for money. It's not just about financial freedom, but time freedom. Because if you keep trading time for money, your life will always be limited by your paycheck. But when you understand how money works and let it generate value for you, your freedom grows with it. Risk awareness and opportunity consciousness help you take action in an uncertain world. The rich understand that the biggest risk isn't failure, it's missing an opportunity. If fear keeps you frozen, even the best chances will slip through your fingers. Learning how to analyze risk, reduce loss, and seize potential is what turns action into real value. Learning and self-growth are the core of upgrading your mindset. Effort is just a tool. Thinking is the direction. Continuous learning not only gives you new skills, but also helps you see trends, understand the future, and avoid mistakes. It turns you into a high-value person, where every effort produces long-term, sustainable results. Long-term vision and delayed gratification teach you to invest in your future instead of chasing short-term pleasure. The poor are driven by instant gratification, while the rich endure short-term discomfort to build a better, while endure short-term discomfort to build a better while the rich endure short-term discomfort to build a better the wage endure short-term discomfort to build a better taste. The poor rich endure They invest in relationships, knowledge, and experience, assets that might be invisible in the short term, but create massive impact over time. Responsibility and initiative let you stay in control no matter the situation. The poor often complain about their environment or blame others, but the rich take responsibility and act. Being proactive helps you find opportunity even in tough times and creates lasting competitiveness, turning every bit of effort into maximum value. When you integrate these 5 mindsets into your life, your effort stops being just hard work. It becomes strategic action. You no longer work only for money, fear risk, or chase short-term rewards. Instead, you gain vision, take initiative, and make every dollar, every hour, and every no longer work only for money. Fear on, take initiative, and make every dollar, every hour, and every achieve on later they can live and every. Some might ask, I already work hard every day. Will changing my mindset really make a difference? The answer is absolutely yes, but it takes time and consistency. Changing how you think isn't instant. It compounds like interest. You might not see huge results in a year, but in 5 or 10 years, your life and wealth can transform completely. More importantly, upgrading your mindset changes how you see the world. You stop waiting for assistance. You turn challenges into stepping stones, and every action, decision, and investment becomes part of building your freedom and success. In the end, I want to remind you, effort is never the finish line. It's the foundation. What truly defines how far you go in life is how you think, choose, and act. Change your mindset, and you'll break through limitations and step into a life of true freedom and abundance. So after you finish this video, start by changing how you think. Learn to make money work for you. Embrace opportunities. Keep learning. Focus on long-term value. Take responsibility and act with purpose. When you do that, your life won't just be an endless cycle. It'll become a journey full of opportunities, possibilities, and real freedom.